Hello y'all, I'm back again with another video. So this video is going to be about ways to get rid of a narcissist. And we always hear about this no contact stuff. Yeah, but getting rid of anybody is deeper than that. If it was just that simple, there would be no victims. If all we had to do was just go no contact, there would not be any victims, right? So these are things that I have done to get rid of narcissists and things that I have seen other people do. So, a lot of what I'm going to tell you, I've done it, but I've witnessed other people do different or similar things. I would just go through a list of things. And, I do my videos. Usually, I don't have 90% of the time, 99.9% of the time, I'm not reading from any notes. I just come up with a video idea and I just start talking about it, telling the story or whatever. So I don't have a list in front of me. So I'm just going to be naming these off the top of my head. And some of these items, y'all, that I'm going to name, you're going to find that these are the areas that you need to work on because I'm going to name some things and you're going to say, oh, I don't do that. So maybe that's why I have so many narcissists around. Because sometimes it's not about just going no contact. You got to figure out what you're doing to attract them in the first place. What are you doing that attracts the narcissist? Number one on my list, I live and I go by this. Anybody that really knows me knows this about me. I don't have a lot of company. And especially when the pandemic came, it was a prime time to say, yep, I'm getting ready to get rid of all narcissists. Because nope, you can't come over because it's a pandemic, right? However, some people attracted more narcissists during this time. So, number one, not having a lot of company. And the reason I say that, or knowing what company to have, I mean, you got rare cases where there's a family full of empaths and normal people and people that are really not narcissistic or sociopaths. I mean, you do have those Little House on the Prairie cases, okay? However, and remember, keep in mind, even in Little House on the Prairie, the show, there was other narcissists in town, right? So, yeah, maybe they weren't in Laura's family, but they were in other families that lived in that community at that time on that show. So, not having a lot of company is definitely a big one. And you just will avoid a lot of stuff. Narcissists won't like it. Narcissists want to be in that house. A lot of them want to be in the house so when they leave, they could talk about you like a dog. Stuff like that. Judgmental. Some of them want to break in and start fights, and you might, in a rare case, get the worst narcissist and he want to see the layout of your house so he can come back in and kill you and kidnap your kids. Those are extreme cases, but it does happen. They knew which back door to come in and which room to go in because they done been in the house, right? So giving them access to the layout of your home is a big one. You know, what's a good case we can name to think of something like that? Danielle Van Dam, the little girl that was kidnapped from her home over 20, I think it's been 21 years ago, or over 20 years ago, something like that. Well, just look up the case. Danielle Van Dam, she would be 21 right now, I think, because I just was watching one of the updates of her mom and her big brother being interviewed, right? So that narcissist that kidnapped her, which was I think it was David Westerfield, and he was on death row. This man is like almost 70 now. They still ain't completed the execution of him. I don't know why it takes so long to kill somebody, because it sure didn't take him long to kill Danielle Van Dam, but he tortured that baby girl. That's just one of the sensitive cases. You know, you got those cases you'll never forget, and that's just one of them. I mean, he just went in his neighbor's house like that was his, and took that baby girl like that. And then at the same time, he was into some kind of child porn. He used to watch child porn and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a big one. Bringing people in your house, right? Number two, how to run off a narcissist is don't talk about your negative news. Okay, don't talk about people that have passed away, family disputes that you're having with other empathetic family members, what's going on at your job. Don't tell them about that. If it's bad news, just don't talk to them about bad news. Just always be doing something good and happy. A lot of narcissists, they just want to hear the bad news. They like other people to be miserable. Um, don't let them see you when you're going through a hard time. That's part of not sharing bad news with them. Number three, and this is going to sound crazy, don't marry them. Okay, and the reason I say that is this. We got a lot of these old school men and women, especially some were raised in religions. Well, when I'm with somebody for so long, if I'm with a man or a woman a year or two, I got to marry them. And you're going to be married to a lot of narcissists. And the reason I say avoid doing that as often is because you're not in their web. It's easier to get away. You won't be stuck with the narcissist so long. Like for me, I've been married one time. That's it. I could have been married more times than one, but that was one of my tactics of getting away from narcissists. I never married him in the first place. So I'm not stuck with this fool. Okay, so number four would be not sharing your address with them. Your actual physical address, not just them coming in the house. Someone coming in your house and someone knowing your address is different. So, number four, they never know your address in the first place. Number five, don't go out and eat with everybody. Like for me, I usually, if I go out to eat, it's with relatives, close friends. Usually, if I sit down and have a meal with you or a cup of coffee, I love you. If I don't love you, I ain't going. Unless it's some kind of event at work or something like that. Number six, just don't call them. They just never hear from you. That'll run anybody off, even an empath. Number seven, don't give money out too often. Only give it out to people you've known a very long time. Donate money, but don't be known for the type of person where you just regularly handing money out. If somebody's around you and they can get money from you every month, their motivation to even be talking to you may be money. Now, if you donate to a friend or a relative every blue moon and they donate to you, or even if you loan each other money, that's different. But regularly giving money out. Number 8, feeding people, right? Me, I'm not going to be feeding nobody every day. I was in a situation many years ago where I found myself doing that, trying to help somebody else out in their family. I stopped doing it. I don't hear from them at all. I mean, it's nothing that they're getting from me. They can't come over, they can't live with me. I'm not feeding them. Number 9, giving people rides or paying for their Ubers, things like that. Um, Number 10, babysitting the wrong people's kids for free. This could even include being taken advantage of if you are a stepdad or stepmom. Other ways to get rid of narcissists or to pray. Okay. Um, Study narcissism. That's another way to get rid of them. Accepting and realizing what that is. And also being aware of your own traits too, right? I think that would be number 12. If I skip the number, I'm sorry. Um, Spending more time doing things like cleaning and staying busy, cleaning and staying busy, having a YouTube channel like I'm doing right now, just being busy. I mean, people that have a lot of drama with narcissists in their lives, they may not be spending time in the areas where they can better themselves. If a narcissist lived with you before and they left on bad terms because they were abusive, in whatever way they were abusive, especially emotionally, don't ever let them live with you again. Okay? Calling the police. When somebody acting a fool at your house, whether they're living with you or not, 8 to 10 police roll up on them. Okay? They pretty much will not be back usually. I mean, every once in a while you got a extreme lunatic that don't care, that's gonna cuss the police out after the police leave, come back and beat and kill the whole family. I mean, you got those. You got those nuts that don't care nothing about anybody. Hopefully that's not the case. A regular narcissist, police roll up on them a couple of times, they gone. I think that's 13. Okay, we'll say 14. Not encouraging you to fight, but this will run a narcissist off. Beating the crap out of them. Snapping out, beating their butt in a parking lot, and you do a weekend in jail. What runs them off in this case is not just the whooping you gave them, is the fact you got out of jail, right? That runs the narcissist off too. Like, oh man, the courts let her beat me like that or let him beat me like that. So that you're just showing that I would rather be in the penitentiary doing time than to deal with you anymore. And this can be both ways. This can be a woman that finally defends herself, like Francine Hughes with the burning bed case. Okay, cases like that, like she was tired of this man, her husband and the father of her children beating the dog crap out of her when he was drunk. She just lit him up, not approving of it, but he left her alone. He's no longer here to mess with that lady. Okay, so cases like that. Okay, number 15 is fix yourself up. Just be groomed. And when I say fix yourself up, it doesn't require a lot of fake hair, eyelashes, and things like that. You don't have to put on anything. Sometimes being just natural runs people off. Um, Let me see. I guess number 16 would being the type of person where you don't feel like you have to fit in, right? Another one would be enjoying naps. Okay, I enjoy nap time here and there. So I may miss a lot of what a narcissist want me to do because I'm asleep. And I have my scheduled nap time. So if I decide, hey, I've had a really hard week, I'm going to sleep in from the morning on Saturday to the Saturday afternoon. If I say, you know what, all day Saturday, I could stay up all night Friday doing videos, and I say, well, you know what, 6 o'clock a.m. Saturday, all the way to Sunday, I'm laying down, I'm resting. And I can do that. I don't have little kids anymore, y'all. You know, when you got newborns and toddlers and preschoolers, it's a lot different. I mean, you don't have that life like that, especially if they're at home. But when your kids get older, you find that you're the only one at home. They're gone, or that teenager is doing their homework and doing videos and on video chats and things like that. I mean, they just got other stuff to do. They're at basketball games or practices. You try to go to some of the games, but practices. Another one would be not loving everybody, not being so affectionate with everybody. What would be another one? Moving out of town. Now, I moved out of town when I was young, stayed out of town or whatever, but it wasn't because I was trying to get away from some narcissists. Not everybody back home where I'm from was a narcissist. So, but I find that living out of town, I avoid a lot of narcissism. I'm not responsible, I'm not liable for a lot because I'm out of town. So I can always say, well, I wish I could help. I would do more if I was there. That's my line, y'all. And if anybody was watching this video or listening to this video, they would say, she's so right. She will say that in a minute. So that's my cop out. I mean, remember, I'm talking about narcissists, right? So if these are narcissists, you want to say you out of town and be proud about it, right? They know they are narcissists, and you figured out that they're one. However, being out of town is a big protector for you. For one, they can't just drop by your house. You can't just wake up and they outside. Another way I avoid a lot of narcissists, it goes back to the address thing. Them not knowing your address and using a separate mailing address. I have a mailing address, basically a P.O. box. But you can get a P.O. box that reads like a street address and use that, right? So that's a good thing too, like adding to people not knowing your address, but when you have to give it out, this is the address that you use. I've done that for many, many years. I don't like deliveries at my door. I don't like these strangers coming to the door. Oh, avoiding narcissists, having the P.O. box or separate mailing address so these strangers, whether they be truck drivers, delivery drivers, keep these crazy people away from your door. Another way that I keep narcissists out of my life or avoid them is being focused on family, right? Families first. Doing good deeds and investing in good energies. The Lord will protect you from a lot of narcissists too. Let me think of any more. Being more self-aware, right? the more self-aware you are about who you are and accepting who you are, accepting what you like and don't like, and being real about it. Like, if you don't like people with bad hygiene, don't deal with people with bad hygiene. Just don't do it. If you don't like it, you don't feel comfortable with it, it brings out your anxiety, don't do it. If you don't like people that keep their homes real filthy, stay away from those kind of people, because a lot of times those will be narcissists also, or people that are going to be jealous of you. So basically, having a standard. I'm just using an example. Um, People that have extreme behaviors, whether it be they not keeping themselves clean, the house is clean, or not keeping their house clean enough. However, if there's a friend that's been sick, that's having trouble maintaining their home, or they came out of homelessness and need some help, or they just got some issues, be empathetic enough to help that friend. Help them get out of that situation if you can, because not all people in that situation will be a narcissist. And just having a good heart. Oh, another one's being a better listener. Instead of talking so much, listen. Listening to the evil that they do. I can recall a lot of narcissists basically told me stories of wicked things that they did to other people. And being more in tune to the story and not just being on their side, really listening and saying to myself, or saying to yourself, would I want somebody to do that to me? And if you can say that, realizing that this is a evil person or a bad person that's not trying to do right by people, and getting away from them. So that's my list, y'all. It was kind of on a random, but I tried my best. So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. I got more coming for you. I've been on this bike almost 23 minutes. Thank you so much. Bye.